So I've been working to restore this 1998 Yamaha Blaster. And one of the things that I wanted to do was take off the drum brakes, or take off the drums and check the drum brakes, or break the brake shoes to ensure that they weren't overly worn or that they weren't, completely destroyed. So I looked at the manual, and the manual was not very clear on how to get this apart. So after some trial and error, I finally figured it out, and I wanted to share it. So once you take your wheel off, the next thing you're going to do is pull out the cotter pin that holds this nut in place. Next thing you're going to do is back off the nut . So the next thing you're going to want to do is remove this nut . And washer. There is a washer there, as you can see. There's a nut and a washer. Next thing you do is you notice the whole entire assembly is coming off of the shaft. So you may have to, I actually had to hit this a few times with a hammer to loosen it all up, but eventually it will pop apart. Maybe. Yes, and this is how you remove the actual brake cable. It just slides out, and as you can see, it's got a flat edge on it, so you know which side belongs where. And then you slide it apart. Come on. Turns out this is extremely hard to do with one hand, because this whole assembly has to slide apart evenly. There we go. That slides off. And you can see, if you look at the inside, mine is not overly worn. There is a little bit of a lip here, but it's not too bad. And the inside is okay. These bearings I've actually already checked, and the bearings are good. You can see these are the pads. And my pads are just about worn out. I'm actually getting ready to order new pads to replace these, or new shoes rather, to replace these worn shoes. So whenever I get those, I'll be replacing the shoes. And then installation is reverse. So you just take your hub, slide it all together, push, install your washer, and then install your nut. Now, the thing I have found is that when reassembling everything, you kind of want to pull the entire assembly off of the axle. And when reassembling, what I found easiest to do is to take the entire assembly off of the shaft, mate the hub with the back plate, and then slide everything back onto the shaft as a whole. Now, once you get it all reinstalled, then you can reconnect your brake cable. You don't want to connect your brake cable beforehand, because when you connect it, it's going to pull, which will push the pads apart. So make sure you leave the brake cable for the last. And all you're going to do is just separate on this one, you separate the spring. Separate the spring and the neck, and then slide it. There's a hole back there that the cable slides into, and it all slides into place. And that's it. Thank you for watching.